Okay. It is show time. All right, so I feel them three words coming. I'm excited. Yeah. So welcome to the Goalgetta podcast with Jay Black. I hope you're ready. If not, it doesn't matter because it's about to go up, not down. It's about to go up. So starting off, Goalgetta. What's a Goalgetta? I'm glad you asked. My logo sums up my message. One finger to the brain, one to the sky. With the right mindset, you go to the top. I put the red check next to the brain because everything starts with the mind, and it takes blood, sweat, and tears to achieve goals. You're a goal-getter. I'm a goal-getter. Success is the only option. Everything about my guest today says success is the only option. But I really want you to understand and feel who you are. So I'm going to break down goal-getter even further. See, a goal-getter grinds to greatness every day, aims to be the best version of themselves every day, understands that adversity is a part of the journey to success. So we embrace it. We never give up. Success is the only option. So welcome to the Goalgetta podcast with Jay Black. I know I got some new viewers and listeners today, so I got to start off by asking you this question. Have you been doing the exercises? Now, for the newers, they're probably like, what exercises? Now, for the reoccurring listeners, they're like, yes or no. Now, as y'all all know, we live in a very cold, dark world, and people are quick to tell you what you can't do. But you look at the word can't, you take T off, it says can. Yes, you can do whatever you put your mind to. You look at the word impossible, it says I'm possible. So this is a great way to start your day. When you first wake up, I need 3 positive thoughts. I share a few of mine with you. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Be a great husband. Be a great father. Now from there, you should be going to the restroom, brushing your teeth, washing your face. If not, we got a problem. But while you're in the restroom, look at that person you see in the mirror and say, I am great. I am a winner. Success is the only option. So welcome to the Goalgetta podcast with Jay Black. Got to shout out my mentoring program, Goalgetta Academy. I'm so proud of my young kings and young queens. Javonne, we had our first in-person meeting since the shutdown of COVID, as far as with everybody together. So to have 20, we were missing a couple. It's a total of 25 of us, but we had about 21 that showed up. And for us to actually have everybody together and just to have somebody come in and speak on financial literacy. My wife, she does a thing with the food, cooking and everything. I would try to take credit, but no, that's her area. So they love that. I don't know if you ever had piece of casserole, but it slapped. I'm telling you, it slapped. Now, I probably never had it. Ooh, I'm going to have to turn you up. I'm going to have to turn you up one day. Now, people are probably like, who is this guest? You start talking to her a little bit, but you haven't really introduced her yet. Well, now it's time for me to introduce her. So, Javonne Steward is a motivational speaker, entrepreneur, certified behavior coach, and devoted mother who values dedication, service, and excellence. Javonne is the founder of No Excuse Today, an organization focused on the principle of taking action in your life. She has also received acclaim for her first children's book she authored and self-published. So, Javonne, say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there? What's going on? I'm imagining y'all saying, what's up, Javonne? How you doing? You saying it back to me.
That's
I'm so
right.
glad
Hey,
to be here.
imagination. That's right. That's right. So I want to dive right into it. You know, take us to the day that you decided that you wanted to be a motivational speaker. That you say, you know what, I'm gonna serve the people. I want to know exactly what happened that made you feel like this was your calling.
You know what? Ever since I was about 17, I want to say that this vision of me standing before people, that's when I actually saw it. And I thought I was actually going to be a preacher
Okay.
at some point in my life.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I saw. And what I quickly realized was that vision of me standing before people, even though it is ministry, it is children's ministry, and that's what I actually saw. But I've always really enjoyed standing before people and wanted to share my story. But the catalyst is when I read this book. It's called The Glass Castle by, I want to say her name is Jeanette White, and it was
Okay.
about this young lady who was telling her story about how she grew up in extreme poverty. and how her dad was a functioning drunk, and how he would talk about how he was building them this glass castle, and they just lived in extreme poverty. In this book, I want to say I read this book somewhere around 2010 or 2011, and that book actually changed my life. And I said, you know what, I want to do what Jeanette did. Now she's a New York Times best-selling author, but the way she told that story of poverty in that book, I was like, I want to do that out loud, not just in authoring books, but to be able to stand before people and share my story with them.
That's powerful. So, what take us now? It's a two-part. So, take us to your first engagement. So now, okay. So you said 17. That's where you really got the vision. So take us to the experience, your first speaking engagement.
Oh, my first, here's the thing. I guess the first time I ever stood before a crowd, that vision that I saw when I was 17 happened, I don't know, I want to say 2009. I was at
Okay.
I guess you would call it a mega church, and I was standing before people doing the announcements. And it was the
Okay.
weirdest thing because I was like, oh my God, this is what I saw when I was 17 years old. And so here I am. I was pregnant with my second child, and so that was my very first time speaking before a huge crowd, and of
Right.
course, obviously, you get a little bit nervous. But
Right.
my official, I don't know. I haven't like really tracked it. I haven't. You do bits and pieces here and there. So it's just bits and pieces here and there. So that's
Okay.
what I
Okay.
got.
Okay. Now you got a powerful testimony, and I definitely want to dive into this because you just never know who's watching you and what they're going through. And I think this is powerful to know. So you spent over 10 years in foster care before you actually were adopted.
Yes.
So how do
Yes.
you feel that experience affected everything you do today as far as your career?
Everything that I am is because of my childhood. The grit
Right.
I have, the resilience that I have, perseverance, the heart that I have, all came from those experiences as a kid, and it shaped me into the woman that I am today. I've said this before. Me having seven different mothers over my lifetime kind of shaped me into the mother that I am today. Seeing that my mother was on crack cocaine, and I never knew what it was like to hold on to a mother, to like really connect with a mother. Even though I had seven mother figures in my life, I never really connected with any of them. And so for me to be the mother that I am today is I contribute that to my childhood. I took bits and pieces from each of the mothers, including my biological mother, kind of made it all into this, super mom, and that's me. I
Right.
took all their good attributes.
Right.
So everything I am today is definitely, if you pay attention to my history as a kid all the way up into adulthood, shaped me who I am today.
Okay. And you made me think of a quote I think that's powerful. You said, Bars, taking a little bit from here and there. I believe that life is a classroom. The question is, are you paying attention? But the quote I wanted to say is a smart
Yeah.
person learns from their own mistakes, but a wise person learns from other people's mistakes. So in life, yes, we're going to make mistakes. Let's be smart. I think it's very important to be wise. There's so many mistakes maybe this person made or I made that you made. Other people don't got to make, or our young kings and young queens don't got to make them because we already made them. So it's our job just to really put our stories out there, and hopefully they'll gravitate to them and understand that we already did this part of work for you or made these type of mistakes for you. So you don't gotta make them same mistakes. You don't gotta trip up. So I think that's dope. As far as you saying, grab a little bit here, 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 here. Not saying it was all bad as far as the mother situation, but some things you probably liked and some things you probably didn't. You said, no, when I become mother, I'm not going to do this. So
Yes.
I think that's dope.
Yes.
Now I want to I got to get to this because I love the phrase "no excuse today." Where was that birth? Where was that phrase birth?
Ah, that was birth. It was birthed in two places. The morning meetup, David Shands. I'm a part of
Okay.
that group. Shout out to the people who are in the group. The organization has grown quite large. But when I joined, there was less than 50 people in there. And
Oh,
so every day I used to hear, yeah, I used to hear excuses every single day, like, oh my God, it's getting on my nerves. And so this was right around the time I joined Jeremy Anderson's Next Level Speakers Academy. And Jeremy, when he get on the phone with you and he asks you, tell me a little about yourself and stuff like this. So one of the questions that he asked, he was like, Javonne, what do you want to be known for? And so that made me think, like, what do I really want to be known for? Because he was challenging me. As you mentioned in my bio, I wrote a children's book, and that book is called Princess Javonne: A Story of Overcoming Obstacles. And so I used to, prior to me just going by my name, Javonne Steward, he said, "Sis, you got to stop calling yourself Princess Javonne." And I was like, I gave him a really hard time, and he was like, "No," he was like, "You gonna lock yourself out of contract. People are gonna think you just for girls, and you're not just for girls. Like people need to hear your story." And so when he was asking me that, what do you want to be known for? And I began to like really reflect over my life, and I don't make excuses for why I can't do the things that I want to. Okay, and so that's pretty much what I wanted to be known for. No excuse today, and that came just like that. And no excuse today was born. So I was born last year in May 2020.
Oh, that's dope. And that's crazy. We got to talk about this, the importance of investing in yourself, because that's really our connection. I decided to actually invest, in Next Level Speakers Academy. And I think it's so important, once again, to invest in yourself. Just going back to the quote I just said, Jeremy and David Shands, they didn't already walk this path and did so many mistakes. We can learn from them and save ourselves some time and money, So I think it's powerful.
Yes.
I think during the pandemic, that was the best investment I made, the shutdown. I'm not gonna lie. At the time I really didn't have it. My wife was like, I'm like, I just felt like, what? Now it's the time, because I had to really pause and I had time to look at my brand and where direction I was going. So I made that investment, and I made the investment in Author Secrets with Sean Blanchard, which I think the last event in Atlanta was so dope for me to actually be able to have both of my mentors in one building and see them. It was priceless. Saying they both definitely added value in my life. So let's talk about the power of investing in your craft. Let's talk about that. What's your thoughts?
Oh man, that's what last year was when I decided to take, like, really put that to the test. And I have been following David Shands for quite some time. And last February 14th, 2020, I decided to jump on his live. I have another business called Pillow Thingies, and Pillow Thingies actually afforded me to join the no, not the no excuse today, the Next Level Speakers Academy, because
Okay.
I wanted to be able to again tell my story. And so I jumped on a live with David Shands, and we instantly became each other's customers. He purchased Pillow Thingy, and he was like, "Are you coming to the Social Proof conference?" And I had been, going back and forth. I said I've always wanted to go to functions that he's having. And he put me on the spot in front of everybody, and I was like, "Well, I gotta go now." And I was looking
Right.
forward to coming to Atlanta, but then everything shut down in March because he was like, "Yo, pull up." He was like, "Come bring Pillow Thingy and sell Pillow Thingy." I was like, "He's so generous!" He's so generous. Like, he's like, "Just show up to the conference with Pillow Thingy." So I'm sitting here sewing and trying to figure it out. Then plans changed, and ever since I decided to invest in myself, it has been like nonstop. The opportunities, the the attractions that you get because you make up your mind, decide I'm going to invest in myself, is one of the best things that I have been doing, and I've been seeing the fruits of it. And it is true. You got to pay to play. You really
That's
do. If
fair.
you want to if you want to get within certain circles, if you want to elevate in life, you really have to start investing in yourself. And I would encourage anybody to do it. Like, do not delay. No excuse today. Get it done, because you can literally, just by investing. I just learned this from Brian Tracy in his book, No Excuses. If you take 3% of what you earn each year, just 3%, and just invest that back into you, like, you will experience so much increase over time, and just make that a habit. And so when I began to look at that, I was like, if I take 3% of my income, I was like, oh, I super exceeded that last year. Like, but I'm
Mm,
seeing the benefits of it because it all came back to me. So investing in yourself is extremely important.
Ooh, ooh. And she dropped some serious jewels. So I hope if you need to press the rewind button, go grab your notebook and take some notes. Take some notes. That's what it's all about. Go get a podcast. We're big on goals. We want you to achieve your goals and help you achieve your goals. So I'm telling you right now, this woman is not playing no games. She's definitely invested in her craft, and she's serious. She's the real deal. So that explains more about your social media. I love your social media. And I love now we're gonna talk about the alley-oop. Yeah. I feel it's the alley-oop that you threw me the other day. So you had took a video, I guess, of my phone. You know me, I'm so big on branded, you know. So my phone, it got my logo on the back of it. So you put on there and on the stories, and you put any goal getters out there. And I was like, well, that's dope. That's dope. A little stuff like that, that's something I should be doing. You know what I'm saying? But that's dope. It's just creating a conversation. You know, it's engaging. And I was like, wow. And I'm watching. Yeah. It's funny when David Shan says something on stage, I start thinking about how you doing your content. I like how you do it. I think about you. You even remind me of Nikki. And I love Nikki. So let's talk about this the style of your content.
I sit under their leadership.
Right.
So
right.
So since I've been a part of the morning meetup, everything that David says, Jose, Bennett, whatever he says and whatever Nikki Saunders says, like I pay attention to what they say, and I just figure out creatively how to add that to what it is that I'm trying to do. And so, believe it or not, last year I was sitting complaining to David. I want to say somewhere in March or April 2020. I was just like, I don't like posting. And I said that out loud in front of, because I didn't. I was like, it's just like really frustrating posting until I stopped making excuses and was like, okay, figure this out and figure out how to make it work. And so I decided to test it out on the No Excuse Today brand. So, and listening to Jeremy Anderson and David Anderson as well. So when people drop stuff, that's the thing about with content and branding. It's not enough just to get the information. You actually got to apply the information that you're getting, or you just sitting around just, hoarding information. It's like, what you gonna do with that information? And so my goal is to inspire people to like be their best. Like, because something is simple. I was sitting next to you at the conference. I just looked down and I was like, yo, that's a moment right there. Like, let me go ahead and tag him in. And that's something that you can do. If you want to take it and run with it, go ahead and do with it.
I did. I caught that. Hey, I real quick, I let to cut you off, but I definitely caught that alley-oop because I put it in my story and Facebook story. And people was like, yeah, I'm a goal getter. And I had to capitalize that. I was like, I know you are a goal getter, so make sure you hit that link and grab you some goal getter apparel, and I went to pitch my book and everything like that. And even from there, tell them far as I explain my repetition or my routine for how I write down daily goals, which can be found in the book. So I definitely capitalized off that alley-oop. So yeah. That, I think it was dope.
Yeah.
And Nikki, go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
So far as with Nikki, she's the reason. As far as she just said a couple years ago, start where you are. So she pretty much gave me, far as video editing. It wasn't in my budget at the time to do this, so I became a videographer myself and used the app she's recommended. And you keep playing when you get better and better. No excuse today. I was like, you know what? No excuse today. So I just kept messing with it, and my videography then came. I do all my video edits and everything. It came a long way, but I made a decision. I was like, you know what? No excuse today. I'm going to figure it out. So Nikki gave that app, and then you just keep messing with it. You get better, better, and better. So that's definitely what you said.
You do.
It's one thing that had the information, but you got to execute. So that's powerful.
Yes, you got to execute. And one of the things that listening to Nikki, she was the first person that I heard say to engage. Like, you gotta talk back to people on social media. So even if they put an emoji, you say something back or you match the energy. And the person that I actually seen put that into like effect, this guy by the name of Kurt. And Kurt, he's like really, really big on he's like big on community. And so I was sitting there learning from him, like how he communicated. Because I'm an introvert naturally. I know people don't believe that, but I really don't even talk to people like that.
Okay,
I
hey,
do.
and they like, well, she full of words
Yes.
today. She talking today. So what? So how did?
Well, see, I'm here by myself.
So how is that? How is so? Let's talk about that right there. You being an introvert. So what's your process before you have to do a speaking engagement? Is this something you got to really, since you're not used to really, like dealing with people? Is it you got a process?
I there is no, I couldn't say that I have a process. It's more so like self-talking, like talking to myself.
Okay.
Get your mind right. I am a more I'm more of a what you call it, like a presentation speaker. I have to have some type of notes near me, so I could flow that way. I'm not necessarily a keynote speaker. I am more a trainer, developer. So I'm teaching people skills. So which is why I'm in the discus, a disc certified coach, because I like to teach what I know and teach people about things that I'm passionate about. And I'm passionate about personality. Let me just let you know that right now. And so I
Right.
teach that. And so it's more so like self talk, like get your mind right, Javonne, pull it together.
Hmm.
Uh, Similar to what Neo just did at the Neo Diviso at the
Right.
conference
Yeah.
when the music was playing out in the background. And yeah, I had a moment while y'all were all in there cheering. I didn't know what was going on, but I didn't realize until after it was like, oh, he was pumping himself up. He was like hyping himself up to go speak. And I think I kind of interrupted that, but I gave him some good energy.
Right. 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 Yeah, it's good to set. It's definitely good to set the tone and have your side. Just positive affirmations. I believe your thoughts become your reality. So what you're constantly thinking, and then
Yes.
get into that zone, and then you'll just automatically pour out to the people. I think when you invest in your oh, somebody said it won't let me share. I don't know what's up with that. We got a problem with that. It'll probably should probably be to share it afterwards though. We gonna make sure you be to share this though. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. But I think it's important to be able to actually the energy you put out comes back to you. So make sure we always put that the right type of energy out. So I love this setup because I was out there too,
Yes.
and you was like you was trying to get your and you was trying to get your hug and your pictures right there. They're like, oh no, he about to go out. But I feel you. I
You
feel you.
saw me.
Yeah, I
I
saw you. I saw you.
Oh my
Cause
God. I feel like I have.
I've been following for a minute too. So I was too like, and I'm pissed because I didn't get a chance to connect afterwards. So I normally would have been aggressive and jumped in too right there too. But I feel everybody was like, he's trying to get in the zone, so I had to respect it. But yeah, we got fast forward to this because
I
me and you both.
wasn't. See, yeah.
Yeah, you was all like, because you was up there. I was like, oh yeah, I love it though. You know me, I love that stuff, that take control attitude. I love it. But me and you both had a moment too, because our guy, we was worried that if he wasn't gonna show up or not. So let's talk about our guy CJ, the brand guru. We gotta talk about CJ. We gotta talk about
Yes.
CJ. So
That was a moment.
how where did you first hear about CJ? Tell us how you.
Um. Okay. So my sister. She's in the military. She actually introduced me to Eric Thomas back in 2013 to 2014. She was like,
Okay.
"Gee, that's my nickname." She's like, "Gee, you gotta listen to this dude. You gotta listen to this dude." So I'm like, "Okay." So I started listening to him, and I'm like, I never stopped listening to him from there. And when did I first learn of CJ? When I learned that he was like E's right hand man, I cannot pinpoint, but I do know um, when Toby, when before Toby took off, I remember him being on like Dr. Thomas's mixtapes, and I like used to listen to like who is this dude? Like he, get you all charged up and stuff. So I'm listening to his mixtapes. He right here in Houston, Texas, and so I started following him. This is when Toby had, I want to say he had like less than 5,000 followers. Okay. I just want to say
Uh,
that. And so I'm like, I want to be a part of what they doing. Right. And it wasn't until I learned that CJ was Toby's coach, and I literally saw I don't know how I stumbled upon the story about, not the infamous, the famous story about how Toby got into rapping because CJ heard him. And that
right.
actually intrigued me. And when I started like seeing Toby's growth over time, and then when he got married to Fat, like he just catapulted into the stratosphere. It's something about when a man marry a wife, and it's that you just get that extra dose of favor from God. And I literally saw that. Like, I was like, if men really understood that, like they like took off into the stratosphere, and I just thought it was amazing. But he used to do the Sunday, drop the music every Sunday, Get Twisted Sundays, and I was just always interested in like I said everything CJ touched skyrocket. That's and immediately that's like so Dr. Thomas was the man, but I was like CJ is the man. Like this dude,
Right.
like anything he touched, and I'm like I want to know him, and so his story just then when I found out he was a speaker as well, like listen to him, he's just to me is a man of noble character. The fact that he don't even compete, never thought about competing with Dr. Thomas, and he fell back to push him forward. That's what made him honorable. Like he'll always forever be a goat in my head. And so yeah, so man, so when I saw CJ's face on the flyer at first, I was not coming to the conference. I was like,
Hey,
oh,
me
I
neither.
already went. I was like, I already went. But when I saw his face on that, I immediately was like, oh, signed up.
Hey,
I
same
signed up.
experience. When I seen CJ, I was like, 'cause I wasn't coming either. When I seen CJ, I told my wife I'm coming. She's like, I don't care what you're
Yeah,
talking about. I'm coming. I
yeah,
gotta meet CJ because people don't understand. He's the
yes.
brain. He's the brain of the whole empire. He's the
The
branding guru.
brain,
So, and I've
he's the
been
muscle.
from that
He's
brain just the
like,
must like.
yeah,
And like you said, it was dope that he seen the vision. He said, you know what? Because he was a speaker too. He said, you know what? I'm going to focus on.
did I freeze? Did I freeze you
Stopping
guys?
nothing. Back. We back. You hear me?
We
You
back?
hear me?
Okay, yes.
Okay, yeah, we back. All right, see, real quick, see, the interview is so fire and it's going so well. Look, the devil tried to stop us, but you know what? You better fall back because you see J&J, we ain't playing. J&J, we is not playing no
Fall
games.
back.
But yeah, I think he's just great, man, and I love his attention to detail, and he has no filter, and I think that's
That's
the
what I
world.
love.
That's what I love because
I,
the world is not going to
yes.
sugarcoat nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's one of the things that I love. God, I don't, man, I was just so ecstatic. Like that was my whole. When I saw him, I was like a kid, super excited to see Christmas, toys. Like that is how, like, and the only person I'm gonna fan out over, and I'll say this many times, is Kanye West. Him and CJ are the only two people, okay? I know
that's what's
CJ was
up.
like, who is this? Who is this lady?
Right, right. And
Like,
I want to fill people in. They probably like, who are y'all talking about? So in our lane, we're in the motivational lane. So it's like to us, this is like seeing LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, NBA stars. These are our
yeah,
NBA stars in our lane. So and we just respect their effort, their work, and their consistency and their passion for what they do. And because they were consistent and passionate, they elevated, but they put it into work. And I think that was very inspirational to me. I knew the story, but to hear him say it in person when he's talking about how after that story went viral, the next day he couldn't even get booked,
yeah.
ET booked in a middle school for free. That's just so
Hmm.
inspirational because we still, as far as me just starting out, still at the beginning. It's still working. I got a goal I want to reach and I want to reach, but understanding that it's a process. It's a process. You just got to stay
It
consistent.
is a process.
But imagine if they would have stopped. You know what I'm saying? He said this in the
Yeah,
same paragraph. He said ET's getting paid $80,000 to speak for 45 minutes. But what if they got
yeah.
discouraged? Would have stopped back then. So you got to keep going no matter what.
And if he would have stopped, then we wouldn't have all the greats that we admire now, because
Right,
he is, they coaches.
right, right.
And
'Cause
we're
I don't
not
know.
talking
I don't
about
know.
like major. Go ahead.
No, the two people that you named that you're a part of. So you think David Shands, Jeremy Anderson. I learned about both of them through ET. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, through
Yeah,
BU. So it's like so many different. Everybody that's really at the top, I learned through them. Inky, Willie Moore Jr. It started for me
Yeah.
following him. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's why our movements is way bigger than us. You never know who's inspired. That's why we got it's very important for us to run our race.
Yes.
Now I gotta ask you this.
Yes.
Okay. So 5 years from now, where do you see Javonne Steward?
Oh, 5 years from now. That's a very great question. And 5 years from now, I will be traveling the world, speaking to young and old, sharing my story of adversity, how I overcame, and how other people can come through as well. One of the things that I loved about what CJ said is don't nobody care about your story. And that is like so the truth. Don't
Right.
nobody really care about your story. You got to make people care. You have to
Right.
make people care. And so in the next 5 years, that's what I'm doing and beyond, making people care. I'm gonna be in the history books, baby. That's the
Talk to him.
vision.
Talk to him. That's the mindset. If you're gonna think big. That's
Yeah.
something I share, and you're gonna hear it when we do the audio version. We're gonna add the original intro to my podcast interview. So, because I'm still starting off on the virtual side, most of my episodes are in person. So it's like you can call it like my Batman music, my Goalgetta music, and that normally starts, but you're here when we release the audio. But I say on there, my mindset is, since I'm here, why not be the greatest ever? And it's a win-win. And it's a win-win situation. Let's say I don't become the greatest ever. I'll become one of the greats. But what it does is it stretches yourself and it makes you put your best foot forward every single day. And that's what it's all about, living outside your comfort zone, because that's where greatness happens. So I want to make sure that you comment on here, put your link for people can grab their No Excuse merch. I make sure I'm gonna grab me a shirt. Make sure you type that link in there for they can get that. Also the children's
Where do
book.
I type it at?
In the chat, you should be able to post
Where
the
can I
comment.
type that at?
You should be able to type it in, and you'll see the
Okay.
you see the comment.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
So if you guys go to www.noexcusetoday.com, if you want to rock some merch that's gonna keep your mind sharp and focus on not making excuses. Oh, I put it in a private chat. My bad.
Okay.
It won't. Okay. So I don't know how to get it out of the private chat.
Okay.
But you guys go to noexcusetoday.com to pick up merch.
And what's
And then I'm super duper excited. Yeah, no excuse without an S. Noexcusetoday.com.
You said without a what? No excuse.
Without an S. You know how people like no excuses? Yeah, it's excuse singular. Noexcusetoday.com. That's EXCUSE.
CUSE today.com. I'm posting in there, and I'll post again. Okay. All right, great. So I got to ask you this.
Yes,
so
I'm unable to
the people.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So principles that you live by. Share that with us.
Here's the thing. I'm a very firm believer that people should write down things that they value the most, what's most valuable to them, because when you understand what you value, it determines your behavior. Things that you value determines your behavior. And this is very, very important, because when you walk through life and you wonder why you behave the way that you do, why things go the way that they go for you, it's because of some of the things that you value. And so I want you guys to kind of like look within and sit down and start writing down what are some of the things that I value, because they can alter your behavior. So those are just some of the principles that I live by, and my ultimate no excuse today, baby.
Talk Talk to him. I love it. I love it. So I want y'all to make sure y'all stay connected with Javonne, and she's definitely this queen is a problem, and she's passionate about transforming lives. Definitely a goal getter. That's why I had to have her on. So give the people your social media information so they can stay connected. Talk to him. Goal getter. He's definitely a goal getter. Yes. So give them your social media.
You guys can follow me on social media at Javonne.Steward. That's my first and last name, .Steward. You can find my personal website, JavonneSteward.com. If you follow me, know that you're going to see me in the same merch over and over because I am trying to really get that into your head. Stop making excuses for why you can't accomplish things in your life. Be ready to do the work because it's a lot of work that needs to be done. And so it's never ending. So Javonne.Steward on Instagram. And I look forward to meeting you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So yes, I appreciate y'all tuning into the Goalgetta podcast with Jay Black. Make sure you share this video. I know it's going to touch somebody. Also, if you're looking for motivational speakers, you're in the right place. She told you her website. Tap in with her. You know me, jblackinspires.com. Also, make sure you go to jblackinspires.com. Grab your Goalgetta merch. You know, I got the Goalgetta hat, shirt, shoes. I even got a Goalgetta pillow. You think I'm playing? I even got a Goalgetta pillow.
What?
I want you to think about your goals even when you're sleeping, Javonne. I ain't playing with them. I'm not playing with them. So, yes, make sure that you stay connected. Stay connected. You know, I'm a firm believer that you are who you surround yourself with. So you're going to make sure you surround yourself with people that's going to elevate your mind and help you take your life to the next level. So I love and believe in you.
Yes.
And always remember.
Thank you.
The only person that can stop you is you. Yes.
Hold on. I got to do it like that.
Damn, there we go. Stay on, Devon. I'm ending the live, but you stay on. We out of here.
Okay,